Dear students, myself Naresh Kumar Dogra, Senior PGT Commerce, Army Public School, Udhampur. I will teach you accountancy. Firstly, we will discuss the syllabus part. The whole syllabus of accountancy is divided into three parts, consisting of Part A. In Part A, there is accounting for not-for-profit organization. Under it, we have to study financial statements of not-for-profit organizations carrying a weightage of 10 marks. Accounting for partnership firms carrying a weightage of 30 marks. And accounting for companies having a weightage of 20 marks. So part A consists of 60 marks. Now part B. Under part B, there are financial statement analysis. Under it, we have to study analysis of financial statements carrying a weightage of 12 marks and cash flow statement having a weightage of 8 marks. And part C consists of project work. The project work will include a project file having a weightage of 4 marks, written test of a duration of 1 hour carrying a weightage of 12 marks, and viva for 4 marks. Now, today we will start with part B, analysis of financial statements. Financial statements, as we already had discussed in class 11th. So these are the basic and formal annual reports through which the corporate management communicates financial information to its owners and various other external parties, including investors, taxation authorities, government, research scholars, etc. As you know, financial statements are of two types. One is the income statement and second is the position statement. Now, from the viewpoint of a company, the financial statements are classified into balance sheet, that is known as the position statement, and second is the statement of profit and loss. The balance sheet and statement of profit and loss are required for external reporting and also for internal needs of the management. Like you will have to make certain plans, you will have to take certain decisions and control the activities of the organization. So for this we need the information given by the financial statement. Now firstly we will discuss the format of statement of profit and loss. If you go through the format, the amount part consists of the current year and the previous year. As per the provisions of the Companies Act 2013, you will have to prepare the statement of profit and loss by showing the figures of both the years, that is for the previous year and current year. Now the income statement is divided into 7 parts. First is the revenue from operations, second other incomes, and third is the sum total of revenue from operations and other incomes. Then you will have to deduct various expenses out of the total revenue. In part 4, expenses includes cost of materials consumed, purchase of stock in trade, change in inventories of finished goods, work in progress and stock in trade, employee benefit expenses, finance cost, depreciation and amortization expenses, other expenses, and you will have to make a sum total of the expenses. Now in part 5, you will have to get profit before tax, popularly known as PBT. So this profit before tax you will get after deducting total expenses from the total revenue. Then from the profit before tax you will have to deduct the income tax provision under part 6, and finally you will arrive at the final figure, profit after tax, that is PAT. So this is what the format of statement of profit and loss. Now the balance sheet of a company. Balance sheet as prescribed in part 1 of schedule 3 of the Companies Act 2013. It is divided into two parts, you can say two sections. One is equity and liabilities, second is the assets. There are certain major heads and subheads as well for each of the sections. Major heads and subheads. In section equity and liabilities, the very first major head is shareholders fund, and under it various subheads are share capital, reserve and surplus, money received against share warrants. Second major head is share application money pending allotment. No subheads are there. Number 3 major head is non-current liabilities, and the subheads under the non-current liabilities are long-term borrowings, deferred tax liabilities net, other long-term liabilities, and long-term provisions. And fourth major head is current liabilities. Under it the subheads are short-term borrowings, trade payables, other current liabilities, and short-term provisions. Now section 2 consists of the assets of the organization. Assets are divided into two major heads. One is the non-current assets and second is the current assets. Under the non-current assets, the subheads are, first is fixed assets. Now fixed assets are further subdivided into tangible assets and intangible assets. Capital work in progress, intangible assets under development. Then another subhead is non-current investments, deferred tax assets net, long-term loans and advances, and other non-current assets. Second major head is the current assets. Under it, the various subheads are current investments, inventories, trade receivables, cash and cash equivalents, short-term loans and advances, and other current assets. Now this is the format for balance sheet. Again, the amount column is divided into two parts. This is figure for the previous year, previous accounting year, and for the current accounting year with notes to accounts. Now in the section 1 there are certain major heads and subheads are given. Similarly in the section 2 again certain major heads and subheads are given as we discussed earlier. So these are to be presented in the balance sheet in the similar manner. So you will have to prepare balance sheet according to the given format. Now after the financial statements, now we have to move towards analysis of financial statements. Analysis is what? This is the process of identifying the financial strengths and weaknesses of the firm by establishing a relationship between the various items of the balance sheet and statement of profit and loss. So you will have to study the financial statements. This is a systematic process of the critical examination of the financial information contained in the financial statements. The various objectives of financial statement analysis: assessing the earning capacity of the firm, assessing the managerial efficiency, assessing the short-term and long-term solvency, to facilitate inter-firm and intra-firm comparison, and to present a true and fair view of the business. So these are various objectives of the financial statement analysis. Certain points of importance of financial statement analysis is to estimate the financial position of the business. These are helpful in obtaining the loans, helpful in improvement of the business to satisfy investors, helpful in determining the income tax liability, and these analyses are also helpful in forecasting, budgeting, and deciding future course of action. Certain limitations: these are historical analysis. That means analyses are done on the basis of the figures in the financial statements, not on the present cost. It ignores the price level changes. Qualitative aspect ignored here. It also suffers from the limitations of financial statements, affected by the personal ability and bias of the analyst. It may lead to window dressing. And another limitation is it identifies symptoms only and does not offer its diagnosis. Now, on the basis of the financial statement and financial statement analysis, so there are certain study assignments that you will have to go through. So there are short answer type questions. Go through these questions and solve these questions. Thank you.